Welcome
Welcome
to
to
Shade and
Shady
the
in the
City.
City.
I'm your girl Treese.
It's Nels.
And today, y'all, we are getting into our recap of Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is season 16, episode 8, Boots on the Ground. Okay. I ain't got my fan, so I could pop, pop, pop. Y'all know that's the only part of the dance that I know, but I'm getting the steps. I'm getting the
Did you
first
see
step.
Beyonce did it in her concert?
I saw a clip, but I fell asleep. Um, so yeah, y'all. So if you haven't already, please make sure that you hit that like button.
And a subscribe button.
And y'all, let's get into it. And oh, I'm so sorry. I'm distracted because this Chick-fil-A worker is going off about being fired. Chick-fil-A is supposed to be so put together. But anyway, so let's get to this recap of Real Housewives of Atlanta, y'all. And let's get shady. All right, y'all. So, as we know, it is day 2 of Porsha's Nashville trip. Britt calls Mike and tells her that Angela continues to advocate for Kenya.
Giving him all the tea as per usual. That man
Right.
knows
She
tea.
said, if he can't be
Oh,
by my side, I got to make him feel like he's here. You know. So, Shamia gets the news from Gerald that Shiloh is is it Shiloh, the little one?
mhm. Yeah,
Okay.
Shiloh.
Shiloh's struggling with an ear infection, and so of course she's dealing with mom guilt. But she feels, that there's no challenge that Gerald has let her face on her own, and that's why she really needs to give him the son that he wants. And I didn't already gave my thoughts about that, and y'all can go back. I think it's beautiful that she wants to give him what he wants, and I hope that they can do it safely by surrogate. Um, but I ain't gonna get and dive into that. They want what they want. But basically he tells her, don't worry about their daughter, go and have fun. So Cynthia comes out to check on Angela, and Angela says that last night was a lot, and the ladies don't like her loyalty to Drew. She tells Cynthia that Drew should be on her way. But this was like 3 hours ago, and apparently the flight from Atlanta to Nashville is only like 30 minutes.
But it was like a 2-hour drive, I think, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, they did say it was a long drive to wherever
Yeah,
Portia.
I remember it being a long drive.
Um, so Cynthia tells Angela that Drew got herself into this because baby daddies hit different. And I said, okay, so we're gonna go back to
She said nobody better come after Leon.
I guess if you want him back, just say that. If you want him back, just say that.
No, she just don't want her homegirl messing with him.
Messing with him and working with him is two different things. So she wanted to advocate.
No, did you see that Dennis told her that she was trying to get down?
I can't confirm nor
No,
deny.
but who knows? He was probably just trying to make her jealous. He was mad about Simon.
I was gonna say, so I think right, like honestly, even this whole first of all, Porsha can't talk about Simon because whatever they got going on in court right now. And I do think even if she did have a little bit of something or felt some type of way, the fact that we're dragging it on this long is a little bit extra. Um,
Mm,
because
so
we're how many episodes in now and we're still talking about this, and we're on episode 8 and we started talking about this in
I
episode
think
1.
no. I think we're still talking about it because it came back up. She got a phone call about it. But I think her feelings are valid. If my ex asked you to work with him, it's fine. But why do I have to find out from a secondhand person versus finding out from you? I watched a whole nother show and Princess smacked the mess out of Amara for the same thing. Luckily, Portia ain't put hands on this girl. But really, like it's a respect thing. If you my homegirl, literally you work for me. I give you a job. Okay. And we supposed to be cool. And I basically like to the point where I see you on a consistent basis and you couldn't tell me that you went to work with him, you did a podcast, I got to find out from somebody else? That's weird. That's weird behavior. And it does make it seem sketchy.
No, I'm not going to disagree that it. Again, do I think that Drew could have handled this better? Absolutely, but I'll, you know, Angela. I'll let me get back into the things. Okay, so Angela says she wanted to advocate for Drew, and she's loyal, and she was going to stick up for her when everybody else was talking about her the night before. So Drew finally shows up and Cynthia, welcomes her. And Drew says she was thinking of not coming. And she said that her and Porsha have been friends for years. And she felt like someone needs to make the effort and extend the olive branch. And I know they can't say it. They can't break the fourth wall. But no, I do give Drew more credit than this. You didn't show up because you and Porsha are such great friends. Because if you were such great friends, you knew Porsha didn't want you there in that moment, and that wasn't the time to address your issues. You showed up because production told you that you won't get a check if you don't, because that's
With this
essentially.
the way this court case is going, she need all the coins.
So she finds Angela, who's getting her makeup done, and Angela tells her, go check out her room. And so she sees she's in a bed. She says she feels like she's in an orphanage. I ain't going to. So Angela tells her to go talk to Porsha so she can get the heat off her. And Angela then says in confessional, if she could do it all over again, she'd still invite Drew. And I ain't even gonna hold y'all. I know, y'all gonna get. I know. I said I didn't see it for Miss Wig
For
back then.
Angela.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
However, Angela is a great pot stirrer, and I enjoy her addition
Yes,
to the
she is.
group.
And and I think
Do
she's,
you believe that she's younger than Porsha? She said that she's actually younger than Porsha. That's been something that's circulating online because somebody said that somebody told her she looked old or something like that. She said, I'm actually younger than Porsha. And I said, I wonder if she's, because they say she's
for her
like
to
30.
for her to even say younger than Porsha, she knows Porsha look young. Girl, I do like Angela. I do like Angela, and I like her clapbacks, but she don't look younger than Porsha. She don't look younger than Cynthia.
She says she's only 43. And if I'm not mistaken, Porsha is older.
And I think Cynthia's what, in her 50s?
Oh no, Portia's 43. So I guess she was saying like I'm
Like
younger than
months,
Porsha.
like by months.
Cynthia is in her 50s.
And see, to me, Cynthia looks younger than her.
Oh, Angela?
Hmm.
Oh.
It might be the nose. So Shamia asked Porsha if she's still gonna be able to enjoy her birthday with Drew being here. Why are you giving me that face?
Because it was the nose shade for me, but go ahead.
I don't know what it is. It could be all the things she puts in her face, but to me, Cynthia looks younger than her. So, she said she's gone over this with Angela 11 times. Okay. And Cynthia, I'm sorry, I'm talking about Cynthia. And Angela was gaslighting her. So Shamia said, she's going to tell everybody no gaslighting today. Okay. So she did go talk to Drew, gave her a hug. And she said that, she don't have daggers for somebody that she's already expressed herself to, which I can appreciate. I got out what I needed to say. I can exist in the same space with you, even though it's my birthday and we're supposed to be celebrating me and what the hell I won't.
Right.
It wasn't you here, but I'm gonna move forward, okay? So because I ain't there yet. I'm not that grown yet. So I give her things. So in the sprinter, Shamia gets emotional, and the ladies, go to check on her, and she mentions that back in 2018, she was in an A-word marriage, and she said that she got a text from a lady apologizing to her because apparently back then when she was explaining
I thought that
why
was
she
so
was going.
random.
So initially I thought it was random because I was like, whoa, are we looking for a moment right here? But I guess what she was saying was, I got the text right now. And it
I and
brought
no,
up,
but it was I don't know, it was just weird. Like in that moment, it had, you know, and maybe it really did. And she was just
Initially, I thought the same thing because the tears really did just come out of nowhere, and I was just like, okay. But
but
I mean, she
but I can understand. I can understand how that can trigger you.
exactly. So when she explained it and she said, you know what, I just got a text from this lady. Back then, I was trying to explain to her, you know, why I was divorcing my husband. She just kind of shut me down and she was being mean to me. And she said it woke up some old stuff for her, which, you know what, after that, I was like, you know what, I completely understand. I get it. Because initially I was like, why are you crying? Um, you know, she said this dude was super successful, super wealthy, and everybody thought he was a great guy. But one time outside of a hotel, he hit her so hard that he popped her out of her first pair of red bottoms.
Mm.
And she said she really never wanted to share the story because she felt like nobody would believe her. So seeing that text really made her feel validated. So yeah, when she explained all of that, I was like, you know what? I completely get it. Then she asked Cynthia how her mom was because during this time they are showing the DVPSA event, and you know Cynthia's mom was there and spoke on her situation, and then Cynthia said that you know Shamia is just such a good spirit. So to hear these stories and hear her going through this and see her still keep a smile on her face, it's just you know amazing. So then let me say I want to do this. I want to do
What?
this. Go to Coyote Ugly. I want to do this.
I don't like shots that much, but I mean, I do want to go to Coyote Ugly, but I
I
don't like
don't
shots.
either. I don't either, but I'll still do them. I'll do it just for this.
Mm.
You know, look, you know, I suck at doing shots. I might throw back, I might throw it up right back in the damn shot glass, but I'll do it for the experience. So some of the ladies went to Coyote Ugly, while some of the other ladies went to do some whiskey tasting. At Coyote Ugly, the bartenders are showing the ladies how to do shots with no hands. And so, okay, that's what we doing. Shamia looked like she done this already. She's a pro.
Okay. But you know what? I thought Shamia did well, but then when I saw Porsha and Kelly, I said, that's how you got that lady husband.
Listen, we I think the groups were split perfect. I think the right people went to Coyote Ugly and the right people went to the
Right.
whiskey tasting.
But I ain't gonna hold you.
Okay,
I already
because
said I would love to hang out with Kelly. Kelly looked like a really good time to me.
yes, she does. I would, yeah, I definitely would have did the whiskey, the what I mean, the Coyote Ugly. Okay, so they're also like making drinks. Shamia, they got Shamia shaking and stirring the cup, the bottle on her ass. Like it was a good time. This was a good time. Now the whiskey tasting thing that just looked more like of a classy type of thing. They got messed up, but it was kind of boring. It was dry. It was dry to me. Drew suggested them bringing Porsha a bottle with her picture on it. She want as another olive branch. So Kelly, she asked
I
Porscha,
thought she
what's up
said
with
with
your.
their picture on it.
She did. She did.
Hmm.
She said with the
No,
picture on it.
because I was like, oh, so you're trying to. Because I actually would have thought it was a better idea if it was just Porsha.
Like a keepsake, like of
Yeah,
herself.
but
Yeah.
you're putting and if right now I'm not with you, I don't want to sit and look at a bottle. If anything, I'm gonna drink it real quick and throw it out. Like I'm not.
That's your man's.
I'm
That's
just
your
saying.
man.
I love my
That's
girl
what you
Drew, but I was like, yeah,
said.
you're still making this about you, and she don't want to.
So then Kelly asked Portia, like, what's up with your friends from last night asking about Drew? So she let her know that they do know her and everybody's cool. So really they was just asking like, why are we here and Drew ain't here? What? So Portia says she's confused with Angela. If she was going to invite the girl, she want her to be why wouldn't she want her to be in an atmosphere that's, more accepting? So Portia felt like this was a whole setup. Shamia
No, and I
said,
love when she said Angela set Drew up. She changed the whole tone and made it negative about Drew.
mhm.
And I could kind of, in a way, I could kind of see what Porsha was saying. Like, yeah, you did kind of set, you didn't, because Porsha wasn't giving it no attention, and you didn't have to give it no energy either. And you could have just said, Drew will be here shortly. When they were like, "Where's Drew?" Oh, Drew's on her way. But I do know Porsha said I didn't invite Drew, but this one over here, and that's how that started. So
Mhm.
I won't
I
take that
wasn't
away
I
from
wasn't I wasn't fully on board with that conversation. Mia said that her and Angela, rode together on the way to the peace brunch, and Angela said that she felt some type of way about Drew. And she was talking trash to Kelly about her, and then she needed to figure it out. But I was confused because when they showed the clip, from what I saw, it looked like she thought Kelly was talking mess to Drew about her, and she wanted to know Drew's reaction. It didn't sound like Drew was the one talking mess to Kelly. So that made me even feel like really even more so like, yeah, you had the story wrong. So Portia said that, that makes so much sense because, if you invited her, why would you, make it a thing at the table, then kind of provoke everybody to have this negative vibe about Drew when she arrives.
Mm-hmm.
Now, everybody else is doing the whiskey tasting, and Angela is telling Drew that they missed her last night. And of course, they're going to show this part when they're talking about, girl, you being messy with Drew.
Mm-hmm.
She said that she held it down because she feels like Portia really was hurt because she invited Drew. But she said that she knows she messed up by inviting Drew without Portia's permission. And Britt told her that she was, playing the victim role. Angela said, "No, how was I playing victim when I was catching all the heat?" And basically, Britt was like, "That's exactly what the victim role is. It's when you think that you're catching all the heat, and then you're acting like you're oblivious to what's going on." So Angela asked for some
She should
examples.
know. She should know. I'm sorry. That's why I can't help but roll my eyes. Like literally, as soon as you said Brit, I said, "Oh,
So Angela asked for some examples, and Britt told her that at brunch she felt like she was going to get some support, but she got no level of empathy for what she was going through, and everybody was basically she said like it felt like everybody was even now. So Angela told her, really it was the way she walked in and sat down. She came across like she was kind of like
entitled."
she was entitled. So Drew told her, us showing up basically was in support of you. And Cynthia tells them that, they can't tell Britt how she should come in, walk into the brunch after something just happened like that to her, unless they had
No, no, no,
pictures.
no, no. Now I got it. Now I got to do pull a
This show
you.
Pisces. This show Pisces.
No,
She said,
Cynthia
unless
tells them
y'all got
they
a
can't tell
picture.
Brit how to feel because they weren't on poster boards with a penis in her mouth. That's what Cynthia
Mhm.
said in her messy
on
ass.
display for a full room. And until that happened, then come holler at me, boo.
Right.
Okay. So Britt gets emotional explaining that she was in her home crying for 3 days, and then y'all worried about how she came in. And Angela said, you know what, there was some missteps. And she apologized. She said that she said some hurtful things. She was like, we said hurtful things to each other, but she still apologized. And back on this sprinter, Britt was basically done. Okay. She's done. She looked like Treese. She was done. I mean, like all eyes everywhere. She's
You know, it's so funny. It was so funny because when I was watching her and how she was and the thing, and I said, "Is that how I get?" When I
yes,
said, "Is that what
yes. I
Chanel be?" I said,
immediately
"Is that
saw
what
you.
Chanel be talking about?" Well, I'd be like, "Oh," because her eyes were all over the place, and she was like, and I was like, "Who is she looking at?"
Exactly. You'll be sitting right here in my face, and your eyes are over here somewhere. Absolutely. That was so you. So Cynthia basically said that she was a lightweight, and we can tell she know how to catch them, girl, because she was throwing them back. Cynthia had
Cynthia
no
was
problem.
tearing it down.
She was throwing them back.
Look,
Um,
I didn't even go hold you. I couldn't hang out with Cynthia. I like you, my good Pisces girl, but I'm a Brit.
She will
I'm
drink
a
you
Brit.
straight under the table.
Oh no, the way, and then she was like, it was when the dude came over and he said it's the force. She said it's finally or some shit like I said, Cynthia.
That girl was ready. She was ready. Okay. Um, Everybody else had to go back to the house and take a nap, except for Cynthia. Okay, she got dressed. She was downstairs fraternizing with the guys. They was fraternizing with her. I said, look, she
Yeah,
was
I need
ready.
well, I need to know what Cynthia is doing because I literally said when I was watching it, I said, my type of girls trip. We done been out drinking, but naps are needed. Naps are needed. I'm
Not for
going to nap.
Cynthia.
I'll
Not
see
for
you
Cynthia.
ladies later at dinner. Have a great
Cynthia took
night.
that time. Cynthia took that time to go get glammed up. She ain't need no naps.
Right.
She said, "Nap what?"
And
Okay.
and I
Cynthia
and
showed
I would
all of.
and I would have been in the bed. I want to know what Cynthia is
Was she?
doing. What
Was
she
she? Is
thinks.
she? Is she the? Was she the oldest one in the group?
She's the oldest, yeah.
I mean, she showed all them young mothers up. Okay. she she sure did. Okay. So then all the ladies start rolling into the living room, laughing and joking. Portia gets there real quiet, dressed in all black like the omen.
Oh,
Okay. Britt immediately noticed something was wrong. It was like, girl, what the hell wrong with you? So she ain't talk to her. She ain't say nothing. But in a confessional, she said that she found out after talking to Dennis and Pilar on the phone upstairs, she had got a call from somebody else. Okay. And found
uh-huh.
out that they filmed together. Child. And she said that she's disappointed that he chose opportunity over family. Then
That
they went
part.
to the backyard to,
Do
have a
some
bunch of
line
guys do
dance.
some line dancing. But really, it was given that they was all still drunk because they was all over the place.
Okay.
I don't know what was going on with that.
They sit down for dinner, and Portia's energy is clearly off. Portia blames it on being tired. Now, Kelly asked, about the whiskey tasting, and Brit shares that, we kind
You
of
was just
resolved.
throwing shots back with no hands, shaking your naked ass all over the bar, and now you talking about your tired girl. Tell me what's wrong. Stop playing
Right.
these games.
Right. Well, I mean, she could be tired, but I would imagine she napped. I would hope she know. Well, you know what? She didn't nap. She was too busy taking phone calls. That's what you get. Lay your ass down and take a nap. I'm a big napper. So, um, yeah, Britt is telling them she thinks they resolve things, and then Angela says that, yeah, y'all kind of said She was like, I don't feel like I play victim, so no, even though I said like I apologize to you, I ain't really know why I was apologizing to you. You know what I'm saying? That's what I got. That Angela said. She didn't say that, but that's what I got from what she said. And so, and
Well,
she asked Portia, and she asked,
no, she said, "I apologize," and basically, you call me a victim, but I don't really understand why you call me a victim.
and so then Britt was like, "Oh, so here we go again. So you didn't receive anything that I said."
Mhm.
So then she asked Portia, and she's like, "So yeah, you were calling me Victimisha or Victimina, whatever they were calling her the
Mhm.
night before." And Portia was like, "I don't remember that." Like Portia was not giving them anything. Okay, it was giving real, and it's
Angela
crazy.
was getting on my nerves. I ain't gonna lie. Angela was getting on my nerves at this point because you see this
Well,
girl is
no, it
clearly.
was funny to me because I just saw her with they were just I guess on Watch What Happens Live, but her and
Mhm.
Giselle were on there together.
Portia and
And
Giselle. Yeah, I
mhm.
saw.
And I said I absolutely like the vibe it was giving Giselle like I'm a queen, I'm not about to address peasants. Like I'm
It just aggravated me because we're on my birthday trip. I
right.
invited you. You invited somebody else, but
That did irritate me. I
like
was
we're
like
here to celebrate me, and you are trying to get under my skin for
skin.
what?
Yeah, I didn't
You
understand. I
see
was
that
like,
I'm
it's
clearly
my trip.
aggravated.
Yeah.
You see I'm bothered, and here you go poking the bear.
Right. So then Britt brings up how she insisted on inviting Drew, even though she wasn't invited. Shamia brings up the call where they mentioned that anyone that was on the call was invited, and Drew wasn't on the call. And so then I thought it was even more awkward well, Drew, were you on the call? No, you know she wasn't on the call. She wasn't in, she was like, I wasn't invited to the call. So Angela then switches it up and says, and this is what I did not like, even though I liked it, but I did not like it because it was supposed to be Porsha's birthday. But I do like when Angela said, you know, well, everybody's trying to hold me accountable. Why is no one holding Kelly, or for what Kelly asked? And so Kelly's like, hold on, that's something different. Kelly immediately knew what she was talking about. She was
Like,
like, no, that's
girl, where did that come from?
right. She was like, that's different. And she was like, I love when Angela was like, no, boo, I'm not asking you to be accountable. I want that one. And that's when I thought it
And I
was
want
wrong.
you, and this is where I was like, I was with Porsha when she was like, and I want you to kiss my
To
ass.
kiss my ass.
Because what are you
Why?
trying to do?
Because she went. So basically, I'm sorry, y'all. So
You're really trying to get me out of character.
she wanted Porsha to answer why she stole that lady husband
Like,
on
first
her
of all,
birthday. And she's mourning the fact that she stole that lady husband.
you wanted me to answer why I called you Victimisha
Right.
or Victimina. Now you want me to answer why, so leave me the hell alone.
So
Is
and
what
then
pays for you to do it.
I love what Angela said, but this is the thing about Angela. She's quick on her toe. I love it. She said,
Yes,
you
she
can
is.
tell the rest of the world to kiss your ass. And so she was like, well, you first. And so Angela says, you know what? I don't want to fix it. I don't know. She said, why would I want to kiss a fix a flat? And I said, no, no.
You shouldn't be talking about nobody's surgeries, honey. You're the last one that need to bring up anybody's surgeries.
Oh, see, I thought she was taking more shots, more in like the fact that it's not even surgeries, it's like shots.
I wouldn't give a damn what it is. You shouldn't be talking about nobody's changing of their body at all.
Well, there's that. So Drew says she wants
You
to
went
address.
from Latoya, you went from Latoya Jackson to Yoshi. Stop
Okay.
it. At
All
least
right.
Portia's body looks good.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Well, now Drew says that she wants to address the elephant in the room and tells Porsha happy birthday and asks if, are you good with me being here? And so Porsha is like, you straight. I swear that was like a Nell's response.
I didn't see nothing wrong with it. I
She
did.
would absolutely, if she was pissed off, and that would be her way of letting me know, bitch, don't ask me no more questions. You straight.
And really the fact that I even answered you
Right,
lets
right,
you know
right,
that you're really straight. My issue is
right,
not with you, but I clearly have an issue.
right.
It really bothered me that, like, we're here to celebrate my birthday and everybody wants to have these deep conversations with me.
Stations, right.
And you can see that I'm clearly bothered. Don't come to me about no issues. Don't come to me trying to have no deep conversations about whether we good or what. You're here and I didn't get in your ass about it. So yes, we're straight. Now, if you want to get up and
Okay,
leave, so be
okay.
it.
I like no,
But
I ain't even gonna hold you. I like that explanation.
mm-mm,
The fact that you
mm-mm.
even here and I ain't said, bitch, go home.
Exactly. So don't try to sit here and you can see on my face I'm bothered. Don't
Right.
try to have no conversation with me about our issues right now. Now is not a good time because you ain't gonna get nothing from me. Me
Mm.
even giving you that you straight is more than you deserve.
Whew. Well, Drew says she didn't come empty-handed, and she did give her a bottle of whiskey, and says that she's going to leave because Porsha has had a very nice, nasty response. So all the ladies are like, "No, stay!" And Portia's like, "You know what? This bitch is being dramatic." And she's like, "I don't think I
Not only
wasn't
that, but no,
welcoming."
she wasn't even like, oh well, she can go. She didn't say nothing. She was like, I'm not a
Right.
mean girl. I don't have a like even with that, I was just like, yo, let me tell you something. And after what I mean, like she said, it
You
just
know
didn't have
what's so
anything
funny
to do
though?
with what.
I'm sorry not to cut you off. I was having a conversation earlier with somebody, and I was talking about energies. And I said, it's so messed up because literally one person, if one person can, and just how I believe in that so heavily, I was like, because one person can walk into a room and change the whole energy of it based
Mhm.
off what they do, how they speak. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because even with the situation with Drew, and I'm not saying that her energy was off, but obviously the energy was off in general. All the energies were off,
Yeah. No,
right?
well,
But
Portia
her getting up, walking off, and oh, I'm gonna leave because Portia's being nice, nasty, and I don't know how, and I don't deserve this. And now everybody's like, oh, but what about Drew? And it's like, no, 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 no. But it's supposed to be about her. The
Mhm.
energy is supposed to be about Porsha. Let's
Mhm.
circulate on Porsha. And yeah, no, I, mm, I'm sorry, but go ahead.
No, Portia's energy was off. But that's my thing. If she's the birthday girl,
Right,
she's allowed to have her energy off, okay? And you feed off of that. If you see
right,
that
and
her
you
energy
figure
was
out
off,
how, and you figure
how
out
to
how
work
you
around
change
that.
it. Yeah,
Exactly. How to make her have a good time. And it seemed like once they got to the pool and everything, they had a good time. But my thing was, what you're not about to do is sit here and try to have these deep conversations and pick apart all this during when you see that she's clearly irritated.
right. And I will say, Portia says in confessional that, right now, if the men in her life were not in her ass the way they were, she would have met these ladies right where they were. And I believe it. You would have saw peach juice.
Not peach juice.
You would have
Not.
saw Portia Peach Juice Williams. Okay.
Oh my
Because we
goodness.
can't say Gubaria.
Well, basically, Portia said that, you know what? She can go. Okay. I'm not a mean girl. I didn't do anything to make this girl feel unwelcome today. So
Right.
I'm not about to chase her down about leaving. Like it was and really that's really what it gave me. Like that's what you want. And it's my
Yeah.
birthday. I'm not about to give
And
you
that's
that.
why I said her whole energy. Yeah.
So then Angela went to check on Drew. She said that she got a lot going on and she's tired of being, of subjecting herself to insults. What you got going on with your husband and what's going on here is two different things. It like ain't got nothing to do with me. Okay. Cynthia went to go check on Portia and she let her know, about the phone call. Cynthia is trying to figure out where the breakdown happened between with her and Drew's friendship. And she said, if your ex filmed a podcast with me on there and you had to find out secondhand, how would you feel about that? And Cynthia basically said she would not be okay with it. And then Portia was basically saying, like, it wasn't even all of that, like for them, like it wasn't even all that for Angela. You know what I'm saying? She was basically like she don't really know what happened. She just was in a bad mood. And you can tell that she was in a bad mood. And when we like, hello, leave her the hell alone. Okay. She said Drew was not the one that made the obligation to her, made the agreement, the co-parenting agreement with her. So she's not gonna bring any of this to her. But Dennis, oh yeah, Dennis gonna get it all. Okay. So she gave Cynthia all her flowers, all her things, told her how much she appreciates her as a friend and being there for her and her amazing energy, which I thought was super dope. Then the ladies went to go to the pool while Angela was getting ready for bed. And I guess maybe they thought she was asleep,
Mm.
but she wasn't because around 2:30 a.m. she was on the
I'm
phone
mad
with
they kept.
Charles.
I ain't gonna hold you. Like, yes, we needed to see like the rest of the trip, but I'm mad that they kept this. Like, I felt like we could have seen more of this, but I guess because they were leaving, it didn't matter. But this was the highlight of the episode.
Yeah. Mhm.
You said, yeah.
So she said around 2:30 a.m. she was on the phone with Charles and heard her name. Okay. So she went to go look out the window and she saw them all outside the pool. She heard how they was talking about her dress, talking about her husband. Apparently, Portia said that she should F her husband. And she said that they continued to talk about her. So she recorded them, but she said it was a very, very short video because she
Very, very
decided to go,
short.
huh?
Very, very short.
Very, very short. But then she said she decided to go confront them. And Portia said she didn't say nothing about Charles. But Britt said that she heard that. So apparently, next day, that the memories coming back, okay, because they were still getting twisted. Britt said that
Okay.
she did hear that Charles got a baby and he's always out with different women, while Kelly said that she remembers Porsha saying something about Angela better stop before she F her husband. Okay.
I love what
Then
Angela said.
Kelly
Based off history, when she says that she gonna your husband, you better believe it.
Kelly went to go say good morning to Angela, and she's like, "Girl, I don't want to be fake." She's like, "What you mean?" That's what I do every morning. I say good morning. And she was like, you know what? And I appreciate that. And her and Drew got their bags and walked their ass right out that door to head back to the ATL because they wasn't having it.
But you know what's so funny though? I mean, and it's not funny, but no, it's not right to threaten to F someone's husband, right? However, I think Angela, based off the rumors and what they apparently said that Britt said that they were saying about how Shamia said he's always out with different women and whatever, um, he she can't F him if he don't let her. That was pretty much this episode of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit that like button.
Make sure you comment
Make sure that you guys subscribe.
and you hit the notification bell.
And make sure you're following us on all the platforms. That's the IG, the TikTok, the Blue Sky, and the Facebook. Look, I switched it up on y'all, but I got it. Catch you next week for another recap of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Have a good night.